Good morning and welcome to the channel. Today is not too bad of a day. They were calling for rain and thunderstorms, but it's looking like it's holding out a little bit, hopefully long enough for us to get done what we need to get done with the Z06. And well, I'm sure you can tell by the title of the video, we do have some bad news. Now, it might seem like bad news right away, but really it's not bad news because it makes a whole lot of sense, and you're gonna find out why. Yes, I am in fact selling the Z06. Now, the reason why, and the reason why you're gonna see it make sense, is because it's far more valuable to me to sell it and take that money and put it elsewhere than it is having that money sit in a corner outside. As the car sits right now, I think it's worth about 75-ish grand, and I have a few buyers right about that number, so I can get right around, let's say I get 70 for it. Worst case scenario, I get 70 grand for the build. Now, a lot of people are gonna say, well, Mike, didn't you put a whole lot of money into that car? Well, not really. I spent about 10 grand on the first build process, and then I only paid labor because RPM is very generous for the advertising I did for them, and you know, working together, we made a great deal to go Pro Charger on it. So really, I only have about 18 grand in the car, and then plus the cost of when I bought it first. All in all, I have a little under 100,000 in the car in total. If I sell it for 70, I lose 30, but the car has made me a lot of content. And of course, because YouTube is my job, content equals money. Now, YouTube is always a job second. You know, cars are my passion in life. This is what I wake up every morning to do. So it is a job and it's what I do full time, but it also happens to be what I truly love. So I'm very fortunate to be able to do this. I had a few people asking about, you know, a little revenue update, which I've done before. Now, I share this with my viewers because I feel like, you know, it's something that you can know. It doesn't have to be a big secret. And we'll go ahead and refresh my analytics page here. So that's me, Street Speed 717, last 28 days. We go over here to average view duration, go down to estimated revenue, subscribers, all those metrics there, and you can see revenue doing well even with the most recent demonetization struggles. And again, this is for the last 28 days. Is the old background on my laptop, so you can tell which car might be my favorite. Don't tell the Corvettes. Actually, it just happens to be a really good picture. I figure everybody knows how much like actors make, and not that I'm on TV or anything because I'm just some jackass off the street, but I figure it's not a big deal to show it every once in a while. You have good months and bad months though. It's different than a 9-to-5 job. Like when you have a normal job, you know exactly how much you're gonna make. Well, YouTube, you know, you wake up one month, it could be half of what you made before, you never know. How does this all come back to the Z06? What is the underlying point? Well, the point is that although cars are a passion for me, they also have to make money. And I can sell this vehicle for, like I said, about 70 grand, and then I can buy a cheap, you know, I said before, I don't feel like I need a purpose-built drag car, and I really don't, but I should have one. Like, I don't really care about having a certain, you know, car that goes 8 seconds anymore. I'm not sure I want to do that. But I should have like a beater drag car for these call-out events I do, because that would make sense. Then I don't have to worry about, you know, breaking the McLaren. I'm still gonna run the McLaren, but I don't have to worry about beating the shit out of that car or a ZR1. I can just use a cheap drag car. So rather than have this thing, which is a whole lot of money sitting here, and using that as the drag car, I should sell this. I can get a wrecked, you know, C5 Corvette or something. Don't care if it's an R title, as long as it goes down the road relatively straight. I can get a wrecked C5 for like 4 or 5 grand. I'm already talking to Texas Speed and Performance, which they did the engine for Leroy, and they're an amazing shop. If you haven't seen them, check them out. I'm working with them on potentially doing some type of big engine build and doing maybe a twin turbo setup or a big turbo setup, and I can do all that for less than 20K. Here is the logic. I could have a dedicated drag car C5 Corvette for under 20K, fully built, and then I could put 50 grand in my pocket after selling this. It would be really dumb for me not to put 50 grand in my pocket and still have a really fun dedicated drag car. But even though I went through so much, I don't really have an emotional attachment to it. You know, it's just here as the race car. My first Z06, the manual one, you know, that I was more emotionally attached to. This one I just bought to be a race car. You know, that's why I bought the automatic. You know, I'm much more attached to this, and even this, you know, something that I just got. But, you know, this has really found a place in my heart. That car always just existed as a working vehicle, so to speak. Plus, there is another angle with this whole, you know, idea. And that is, that car is maxed out. You know, that's all I can do to it, really. I mean, I could do like a power glide transmission and go that far, but that's really about it. if I get a new car, that's a whole new build and brand new content for everyone to enjoy. It should be, you know, different. It should be a little bit more interesting to people because I've already done 2 C7 builds now. This would be a C5 build. Of course, you got Leroy over there, but that's kind of like a stripped down, like go-kart. My car's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be still, you know, like a street-driven car, and unfortunately, I couldn't even, as cool as that is, I couldn't do it here because in PA, the vehicle laws, like I could never drive that on the road. I'd get pulled over immediately. There's a lot of other C5 builds too. I mean, it's a car that's been built now for the last, you know, 20 plus years. 21 years the car's been out. I even did a little one myself already with the whole, you know, going back and forth with Jimbo thing where we had the Steve's C5 and we did a 100 shot and we were able to actually win. So it's not going to be anything groundbreaking, but I do have some plans to make it different in a way that should be fun. With all that being said, I hope you understand why I want to sell that car. And I don't, you know, I don't have to, but I do want to because for me, it is by far the best decision I can make. And that's really what it's all about. You know, in life, you always have to keep in mind the end goal, and you always have to make the best decision that's gonna pay off for you in the long run. Let's put on these stock Z06 wheels and tires, which means I can use the forged lines as a drag setup for maybe this car. I mean, I am going to miss these startups. Christ. I mean, you really forget how loud it is until you have to start it, especially against a wall. But don't get me wrong, it's a gnarly car in every way, and it kind of does look cool having the 2 Corvettes in here, but we gotta do it. Can't get hung up on shit, otherwise you'll never get anywhere. I remember back in the day how many people said, oh, don't sell the Hellcat, that's a terrible idea, don't sell it. You know, we love that car, but look where my channel is now, and it would have never happened had I not done something different. Take that times 4 and you're done. There you go, we are done. Stock wheels back on. Next step is one that might make you cry, taking off the wrap. Hope you guys enjoyed this upload, even though the news was kind of sad, but trust me, it is for the best. And here is a brief montage of some great moments with the Z06.
Do you want to look at it first, or you want to show everybody at the same time?
I'm gonna show them at the same time.
All right.
So, here we go. The new Street Speed 717 car is a Z06 in yellow. Big fucking shocker, right? But this is a much better spec than my car, and it is going to be a perfect replacement for my car, and you're gonna see why in a minute. We got carbon ceramic brakes. I'm so fucking excited to have a brand new Z06 with this car. But as you guys know, the Z06 that I have now was always my dream car. You know, the yellow, wanted a Z06. I wanted a Z06 from the start, couldn't afford it, so I bought a Stingray. are stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. Take care. Have a great day. I have to say, it actually looks pretty damn good on the stock wheels.